Hello everyone and welcome again to my MILERS Club. This is the name of my running coaching brand and is what I use to deliver my running coaching activities. It's an individual one-to-one coaching service run by myself from my laptop with the aspiration to one day have a training group on the Gold Coast. The greater purpose of MMC or Miami MILERS Club is to make running fun and cool. The coaching philosophy that I like to provide is a trusted experience that is ultimately going to make you a better person on the track as a runner and a better person off in life. I aim to demonstrate this through leadership and kindness that reflects an exciting running environment to improve oneself. If this sounds like something that's interesting to you, please get in touch, and I'm currently taking on athletes. So today we're going to get back into our workout videos. So I really enjoy writing workouts and giving them a go myself based on my current level of fitness, very similar to like a CrossFit style workout where you can design something out of the blue and give it a go and compare your scores to others, but obviously to improve overall running fitness and also experience with running as well. And so I'd like to provide these explanation videos as to why I program these workouts for my athletes, and I really encourage them to give them a go. Today's going to be our second video. The first one you can look at was 8 times 1K, and I titled that one Australia. We've got the second workout today. I'm going to start with these workouts that are more common to running, and then we'll build on these over time. If you also have any questions after seeing this video, please reach out and let me know. So, our second workout, this is going to be a continuous workout, not an interval workout. This is called the TESTER. The reason being, this will test your fitness quite a lot. This is the one that will improve your fitness theoretically the most, I would imagine, from my own experience as well as what I've learned through my Athletics Australia running coaching experience, as well as obviously coaching individuals over time. So a threshold workout, so you do your warm-up via the ramp protocol, which we'll go through in a moment. Then you have 30-minute threshold, so half an hour at your threshold pace. It's going to be painful, and we'll get to that in a moment. And the reason it's called a tester, as I said, this will test your fitness to see kind of where you're at. And then obviously your cool down and evaluation as always. So ramp, I've recorded a separate video on the warm-up video, and there's also a cool down video on the website and YouTube as well. So raise, activate, mobilize and potentiate. So what we're going to do here, we're going to have 10 to 15 minutes jogging to raise our heart rate. That's the first step. Activate, we're then going to do some drills to activate the right muscle groups for our running workout that we're about to complete. And we're going to mobilize the joints. So think about your ankles, your knees, your hips. They're the three kind of plays of motion for runners. We're going to mobilize those and then potentiate our speed by doing some run throughs and drills. And that will take you around, depending on your experience and what you've been programmed, as well as what you'd like to do in terms of how much time you've got, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. So for example, I'll do 10 to 15 minute jog. I'll do my drills, that might take me 5 minutes to run through those, and then I'll do some strides, 4 times 15 seconds with a couple of maybe a minute or less break, and then go again to then start to raise that heart rate. But once again, you can see the warm-up video and cool down video, which is all in one there on the channel. So for this workout, we've got 3 levels as always. I would never throw someone straight into a 30-minute threshold depending on their experience. The best one would be to start with 20 minutes. A really good park run goal time is 20 minutes around the world, not just for those who are listening here today. And so that's 5K, 20 minutes, so 4-minute pace. And so you would start off as your threshold testing workout at 20 minutes, build up to 25 at level 2. Level 3 would then be 30 minutes. Now, I've never programmed or ever done a threshold workout over 30 minutes continuous. I've definitely done long fartleks, which will probably be our third workout video, and I'll explain what that word means at a later date. But 30 minutes, I would say, from what I've also seen a lot of professionals do, unless it's not split up into different time zones, so like 8 by 4 minutes threshold, but that's not a continuous workout, right? Unless there's some running floats in between. So 30 minutes is the max that I would prescribe, and so it's going to be hard. So I'm always going to have these 3 points down the bottom here. So step B that you can see in the corner there, tips. So threshold, it's going to be hard. It's a strong mental game, first of all, to actually program the workout and know that it's coming, but then also doing the workout and during the workout. And so you really need to be quite comfortable with longer sets of running. So you would have been exposed, hopefully, through your coach, which would be me, which of course you would be, to longer intervals of running, greater than 10 minutes, to get closer to that 20-minute threshold, 25-minute threshold, 30-minute threshold before you go and test that workout. You also have to remember that you're better than you think. So because that this is a mental game threshold workout and it's tough, both on your lungs, your legs, and your head in terms of running at your desired maybe race pace or a bit slower for 30 minutes in training, you're going to want to pull back because it's going to hurt. But you're probably better than you think, and you can run faster than you think for this particular workout. And so what I really recommend with this workout is getting a road loop. So finding somewhere which is cement or pavement, or even on the bitumen on the road, like in a bike lane or something like that, to run this type of workout. We don't want to run this workout on a track particularly. You can, of course, if that is easy for you and accessible to you, but getting out there, we do road running on the road when we run races. It's really good to expose yourself to that long distance running on the road in a particular direction or in a certain loop to really provide you that race day exposure or practicing of being in that race environment on the road. You would want to be slower than intervals. So last week we looked at in the first workout, 8 by 1K, you won't want to be running that pace for this workout. So 10 to 15 seconds slower. It is a continuous workout without stopping. So that's kind of the gauge that I like to look at, depending on fartlegs, thresholds versus intervals, is that 10 to 15 second bracket slower than your interval desired pace or expected pace. As I said just in the last slide as well, you want to have your head up, focus on your form, controlled breathing. It's a long time, 30 minutes, to be running at a fast pace, at your threshold pace. And so you want to make sure that you can run comfortably and really practice that race day form in a workout as well. It's also long, think about like a Friends episode or maybe a Simpsons episode or something like that. That's around 20 minutes, plus ads. So you think about how long that is on the couch, get through the plot of the episode, and then the conclusion and the credits, that's around half an hour. So think about that, how long you're going to be out there for in terms of running, and understand how far you might be expected to run based on your desired pace. So you can also keep that as a bit of a mental game when you're checking your watch and things like that. Now, on saying that, your pace will fluctuate. You're not going to be glued to one pace for the whole time. You might get a hill, you might be in different weather, you might have different terrain throughout that 30-minute run. So I would cover 7Ks in a threshold workout at the moment, and so there's a lot of things I could run into in 7Ks. So the purpose of these higher end workouts, very similar to our interval workouts with a threshold, is getting into that over and above that lactate threshold tolerance of level 2. So you've got lactate 1, the in between, and then you've got lactate 2. Now we're going over that, so you can see we're just in that bracket there of the 30 to 60 minutes of high intensity training, and then perhaps even in that bottom 5th level of intensity or rate of perceived exertion, or that zone 5, depending how hard you're pushing towards the end of that workout. You're not going to adjust it in threshold the whole time. You may be in the green zone at the start and then bleed into the orange, and then perhaps bleed into the red, or you might stay in that orange threshold zone the most. And so you can see there, obviously, that requires carbohydrates, so fueling correctly for this type of workout. I'm also a dietitian and sports dietitian. You can be involved with me if you need some support in that particular domain as well. But this is a lactate, or an LT2, they call it, workout. And so you're definitely going to be feeling that lactate in your legs, the heaviness of your legs. The laboured breathing is a really big indicator of a threshold workout. Like at the end of a park run, you're going to have that painful yuck feeling, but that will really, having that certain amount of time at that last part is almost the gold. So when you think about doing bench press or squats, those reps right at the end, if you're doing a 10 rep maximum set, those reps of 8, 9, and 10, even 11 and 12, they're the ones where you make your money, where you make your gains. This is very similar in an aerobic threshold workout. So we'll go through different workouts as we move through our workout numbers. We're only at workout number 2, the tester. But the purpose of these workouts will change, how you'll run them, and it will impact different energy systems and to make you fitter in different areas. So this table explains a little bit of that and gives you a bit of an indication of what where you'd like to be or where you should be from this type of workout, where you've got different aerobic and anaerobic metabolisms, and we can go through that in another physiological focus video as well to explain that. Once again, you finish your workout. You're probably going to have your hands on your knees for this particular one. It's a pain, the tester. I don't test it very often. That's why it's called a tester. I might do only 30-minute thresholds, or maybe 4 times a year, to really understand where I'm at and how I can improve over time. But this is my cool down protocol. Once again, that is also recorded in the warm up and cool down video, which is together. So calm, catch, adapt, learn, and mat. So first of all, C for catch your breath. You just run 30 minutes at your threshold pace, 20 or 25, maybe even 15. Give yourself a pat on the back. It's a tough workout. Get your breath, couple of minutes, collect your thoughts, and then begin your 10 to 15 minute jog warm down. That's the adapt phase, where we're starting to support that adaptation from the workout by cooling down and flushing all the rubbish that's in our legs and lungs out. So getting rid of that lactate with that 10 to 15 minute cool down. Now throughout that cool down, I want you to think about your workout, your learning. So how did you go? Where was it hard? Where was it good as well? So thinking about what's occurring or what has just occurred in that workout, to think about how you can improve in the next one, or what does this mean for your future workouts? Was it a mentally tough thing? Think about some of the things that you've learned from yourself from that workout, and perhaps put that in your Strava notes in the future, or within the next hour or so, or at the end of the evening or the morning whenever you've done your run, or even in your diary if you have a training diary as well. And then mat. So the word mat here is a bit of a figurative term for getting on the yoga mat and doing some stretching and recovery, but this is where I really promote any types of recovery from that workout. So obviously important nutrition, but getting on a mat, doing some rolling if you need to, or some really good sleep, putting your head down on the mat. Physio work if you've got some prehab to do, or rehab as well, focusing on doing that after the workout, not before. There's also things like your hot exposure and cold exposure, which we'll go through in another video as well. So you've got your ramp warm up, your threshold workout, your calm for your cool down and evaluation as well. So that's workout number 2. Here's a few graphics of what my MILERS Club looks like right now. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you'd like to be coached by me, please get in contact with me via my website. That's in the link in the description of this video. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, or join the Strava group, Miami MILERS Club on the Gold Coast. Thank you.